what your team was able to do in the third quarter. The Valkyries had played pretty well in the third quarter. They only scored 8 points, and they were 0-9 from distance.
Yeah, I thought defensively we had a greater passion for what we were doing than what we demonstrated in the first half. And as a result, I thought we were, in their space a little bit more. So a lot of the stuff they were getting in the first half, I thought came pretty easy for them. Their aggression was greater than ours. Their pace was greater than ours. And so in the third quarter, I thought we cleaned that up.
Cheryl Reeve with ESPN. I was talking to Fee yesterday, and she said, even though undefeated this like, there's still a lot for this team to look on. She said every game, and probably said several games. She's helped. You guys have been playing great. I just want to assess, because with that third quarter run tonight, it really blew the game open. But how do you assess where you guys are at, and where do you want to see continue to play?
Yeah, that's the thing with expectations, and I agree with Fee that we know we're capable of more. Even more, and we know we have to do more, right? Because their goals are high. We don't want to be pedestrian at anything that we do, and there's times in the game that we go through stretches where we're just not intentionally, where we don't recognize how hard it is to win a possession in this league and what it takes. And so, being a little more consistent and that mindset, I think, is what we're looking for. And then we do that, and we were able to play off of our defense. We're a pretty good team, so that's what we're striving for, and I think that's what Fee was, sort of intimating.
You second quarter, Kate Munn's with 14 points just in the second quarter. What did you see from her in that stretch? Was it something she was doing, or like you said, defensively, you want taking more space?
Yeah, I didn't think we were anywhere near. She took advantage of obviously our a little bit slower rotation or reaction to what was happening. Flat-footed. They just played harder, and Kate was a recipient of that.
What does Courtney do for you guys?
Yeah, so many things. She takes us on a ride. Every day we're with her. It's a fun ride. But she's, obviously her pick and roll game is so good. Shooting the basketball, making life easy for others, setting them up, getting feet easy baskets, or Lamb when she's rolling, finding shooters. She just has this really unique confidence in herself that never wavers. She might have a really rough first half. It's like it didn't happen. Other players maybe take a while to recover from. So she's unique in that way, and she, her will to win is really high, and so her play is contagious.
Coach, you've talked many times about how this team problem solves on its own. When you go into halftime after kind of a first half like tonight, is it necessary for you to necessarily get maybe angry or maybe riled up a little bit, or do they already know what has to happen when they drop in that court?
Simple answer is yes. Simple answer is yes. It was not a pretty halftime.
Can you summarize in rated G fashion what you said?
Yeah, we talked before the game. We have goals, and for a variety of reasons, we can certainly make excuses as to why maybe we're not quite there yet. Either players out, there's just different reasons. But ultimately, that we understood, regardless of who we're playing. I'm sorry you don't know the Golden State system as well as some of the other teams. I'm sorry this is going to be hard because they're going to play hard and you're going to have a sellout crowd here. We have to show up a certain way every time we play, and so we talked about that before the game. And we come out there and in the first half and basically just traded baskets with them and did not play with the level of passion that we needed to play with to be able to compete with these. We got out-efforted for the entire first half. And that was unacceptable. And so obviously that was shared. It's a good group. They responded, which I appreciate.
Once again, I think there's such a stark question that when you guys, it seems like in the last three, especially in the last 4 games, there's something that's going to be on the court. He's a part of it.
Yeah. No, she's been big. Again, she had such a great camp. Our meeting, down when I went down on arrival and spent some time with them and met with T, we talked about this. We talked about her ability to impact our team. It was her second year coming back. We were going to put her in situations more, you know, and trust her more, kind of ride, you know, maybe the ups and downs and not be so quick to, you know, hold every little mistake against her. So giving her a little more freedom. And she had a great training camp, and it's just that momentum is sort of carried through to this point. Thanks.